Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we have massive news with Battlefield 6. Season 2 has just been fully revealed, including the full roadmap, and let's just say the reception so far from the community has been less than ideal. This is going to be quite a long video. Think of this video like a state of the game address. I will leave timestamps in the description. We're going to be going in depth into every single thing regarding Season 2 and the complications. First of all, thank you guys so much for watching the channel. You guys have been so unbelievably supportive throughout Battlefield 6. I just wish they would support the game as much as you guys support me. So with that being said, be sure to hit the like button, hit the sub button, and swing by the streams. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders and this YouTube channel. All links are in the description, including one-on-one coaching, if you want to get your skills up for Season 2. That is, if you will be playing it. First, I'm going to address the controversy surrounding Season 2, then I'll be going over all of the details. Once again, there will be timestamps in the description for certain sections of the video. Taking a very brief look at the roadmap and then in depth a bit later, we can just see there isn't much to write home about with Season 2. It is essentially the exact same amount of content they delivered us in Season 1. The community feels as though the amount of content is just simply not enough. People think it's completely inexcusable that we don't have 3 maps per season, and that it's ridiculous that Season 2 got delayed for essentially no reason. I hate to say it, but this is simply what we're just going to have to deal with Battlefield live service content. They never seem to learn, and it doesn't seem like they're going to learn anytime soon because they already had 2 live service Battlefield games to learn from, and they didn't. So I think we're just going to have to accept that the amount of content per season is not going to be increased or changed regarding Battlefield 6 unless there is some unbelievable shift in feeling from high up in the chain of command. In fact, my personal opinion is there is absolutely no way all of the studios are currently continuing to work on Battlefield 6. I'd be willing to bet they are currently working on Battlefield 7, and there is already a smaller skeleton crew left to work on the rest of Battlefield 6's content. Battlefield Bulletin reported that EA said they are basically up 38% year over year and that they made $3 billion largely because of Battlefield 6's sales, and to me, Battlefield 6 kinda just feels like a fairly cleverly disguised rug pull with great marketing to suck people in and very deliberate beta that used their best stuff they had at the time to sort of restore the faith within the player base so that they bought the game. At this moment in time, my honest advice for people that are still interested in Battlefield 6 is to essentially just understand that the amount of content for this game will most likely remain disappointing for the entirety of its support, and shift your focus to worrying about whether or not these patches are truly improving Battlefield 6's gameplay and whether or not they're on the right course with the changes they are taking. It really sucks that I'm this doomer about Battlefield 6 this early into its content cycle, but I really can't help it. A lot of other people feel this exact same way, and I truly do feel helpless when it comes to the content. I don't think they're going to listen to the community and increase the amount of maps or content per season. Season 2's content isn't enough. The later season's content probably won't be enough either, so I think we should just focus on them making sure Battlefield 6 can reach its peak, but unfortunately, that is also going to be a slow burn. The changes Battlefield 6 requires are not as easy as they might seem on the surface, and it will take a significant amount of time. I'm talking probably over a year. And this is where the Battlefield community, in my opinion, is a little bit impatient. I totally understand their frustration when it comes to the amount of content, but when it comes to the amount of things DICE tries to change in a single patch, they aren't going to fix the entire game in a single patch. I see a lot of people expressing disbelief that they didn't address vehicles in the Season 2 patch, but they literally cannot address all of these major issues all at once. It is simply going to take time. And to that, I've seen a lot of people say, well, maybe they should have released the game in a better state. I 100% agree with you. But it's clear to me now that Battlefield 6, to have it released in an ideal state, or at least a significantly better state, they probably would have had to delay the game another full year. 5 years between titles? I don't think that's going to go over too well, is it? To summarize my overall feeling regarding the content of Battlefield 6, I just think this can be summed up as modern gaming. I think they know they can get away with giving us less content, and they did. They made $3 billion. They made a shit ton of money. everyone folded as soon as the beta dropped and as soon as they saw the trailer. And now with the way live service works, they don't really have any obligations. They're not tied down to the game like they would be with Premium. That's why they could cancel Battlefield 5 support so easily. And with EA gunning for Battlefield yearly releases like they stated a while ago, I'm not really too sure how long Battlefield 6's live service is going to last. With all that being said, now let's go over the roadmap for Season 2, and then after that I'll be going over some extra details via EA's website. They don't post this anywhere, but there's like a gigantic article all about Season 2 that goes over details that are nowhere else, and for whatever reason, they didn't post the link to this anywhere on their official social media. And of course, the patch notes will be releasing later this week before Season 2 actually releases on February 17th. Taking a look at the roadmap now, the first section is called Extreme Measures. This drops with Contaminated, which is the only map we'll be getting immediately when the season releases. A limited time mode, in fact, 3 limited time modes, stretching into RedSec and multiplayer as well. The Little Bird, 3 weapons, and 2 gadgets. Judging from what I'm seeing about Contaminated and just some official screenshots they've put out, Contaminated looks to be a very interesting map. It reminds me of Monte Grappa from one of the angles, but overall it comes off to me as a very outdoorsy, hilly Battlefield map, and those actually tend to be my favorite. So I'm actually highly anticipating playing on Contaminated. I do think it will be a good map. Moving over to talk about the second part of Season 2 that Temporal already data mined yesterday in a video that I covered. It's called Nightfall. It will have Hagental Base, another limited time event, a Gauntlet limited time mode, and a new RedSec point of interest with a dirt bike and 2 more new weapons. So we will be getting a total of 5 new weapons in Season 2. In terms of the map, it is very clear that this Hagental base map is going to be this game's version of Metro or Lockers. It's going to be close quarters, linear, clusterfuck, sort of meat grinder gameplay. Then the final part of Season 2, if you even want to call it that, releases on April 14th. This time, the limited time mode is going to be some sort of operations mode. This is leaving players extremely upset because players love operations, and to see it as a limited time mode really hurts me. Then additionally, we will be receiving portal updates, a new Battle Pass bonus path, a new vehicle, and a machete. It is worth pointing out the only brand new content being added in the third part of Season 2 is a vehicle and a machete. What the fuck? Using the post from Battlefield's official website to give you guys some more details on all of this content coming in Season 2 now, we have a lot of different views on the Little Bird, weapons, gadgets, even some attachments that they didn't mention in the roadmap itself. The first thing I want to cover is something you've seen in the trailer multiple times and is the reason why Contaminated is called Contaminated. It's this VL7 psychoactive smoke, and right here it says it distorts the battlefield with its non-lethal hallucinogenic effects. So whatever this does, it cannot kill you. Now onto some more information regarding the Little Bird. If you're playing on NATO, you will have access to the Little Bird itself, but if you're playing on Pax Armada, you will have access to the MH350 Scout helicopter. They say the Scout helicopters are best used in the hands of an expert pilot, and it is fragile, leaving it susceptible to damage compared to its larger counterparts, such as the transport helicopters or attack helicopters. In terms of weaponry, expect the famous miniguns to be present on the Little Bird, but they also mentioned undermounted grenade launchers. So expect explosive spam on Little Birds as well. I can only imagine how strong that's going to be. One new weapon that I wanted to highlight in Season 2 is the VCR-2. Those of you that played Battlefield 2042 will take a look at this and think it looks pretty familiar, and that's because it does look familiar. This is the VHX assault rifle from Battlefield 2042, meaning we can fully expect this to be the new quote-unquote overpowered assault rifle in Season 2. I expect this to have a good damage model with extremely high rate of fire. One new gadget that I wanted to highlight is the new recon gadget called the HTI Mark II Hardware Suppression System. Say that 10 times fast. It says, when equipped, the hardware suppression system spots all nearby electronic and explosive gadgets as well as targets in the middle of a locked-on process. Take aim and activate the device to intercept missiles and destroy electronic gadgets up to a total of 3 combined. Leaning into the Recon class's Spec Ops training path, the HTI Mark II is a pure disruption tool. with the ability to directly counter up to 3 enemy gadgets as well as targeted pulse, can collapse a well-placed defense or prevent a potential advance. Note the recharging time needed between pulses and the 3 total hardware limit per pulse, as the hardware suppression system cannot single-handedly destroy an overly crowded hardware stockpile, but multiple soldiers can coordinate and use them in rapid succession for a devastating effect. So this sounds like a pretty interesting gadget that is really going to require some coordination and team play, but if used effectively, you can probably use this in combination with a tank team or maybe even a helicopter team to destroy incoming missiles coming to damage your team's vehicles. The next thing I want to highlight is the fact that they are allowing players that missed Season 1 to unlock the content from Season 1 via challenges. So if you want the Mini Scout, you can now unlock it after completing a challenge that requires you to kill enemies with secondary weapons and deal damage with secondary weapons or gadgets. All of this is the same for all of the other content. So if you want to unlock the SOR 300SC or the GGH-22 sidearm, there are separate challenges for those weapons as well. Next up are the additional attachments they forgot to put in the roadmap. They say alongside the new weapons they're adding in the game, they're adding several free additional attachments, including a light and laser underbarrel combination attachment, as well as a hybrid sight combining a standard red dot with a thermal scope. After this, they go on to try to sell you some new, like, Battlefield Pro thing that costs $25. I'm not sure people are going to be too, persuaded to purchase that after Season 2's content, but it does have to be said that the actual changes coming in Season 2 that were detailed in the community update and will be further detailed in the patch notes, those actually sound really good. And I'm hoping, just for the sake of this season, that those changes will have real, felt, impactful improvements to the gameplay of Battlefield 6. Because I think everyone knows and fully expects that the novelty of these maps being new will actually wear off really quickly, especially when everything is separated in this drip feed format, which we're just so cursed to endure. So overall, for me personally, Season 2 hinges on how impactful the changes they make in Season 2 actually are. The content itself doesn't really matter if I can't enjoy the gameplay of the game. Battlefield 6 needs some major gameplay changes. So keep an eye out for a video covering the patch notes on this channel. Hit the sub button, hit the like button if you did enjoy the content, and hit the hype button if it does exist there. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do. Battlefield 6, it's just unbelievable how they just do this every single Battlefield game. They're the best in the world at fumbling. They have to be, right? Like, they are #1 uncontested game hype fumbler, definitely on Mount Rushmore. But again, appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.